How are you treating this week, given there's plenty riding on it?
Treating it like another game. We want to be a side that has a winning culture, and you want to take some good form into the finals. So last week, after a loss to the Western Bulldogs, who played really well, we need to get a win back and make sure we can finish as high up the ladder as we can.
Do you just view that as a hiccup on the weekend, or is it just a bit of a wake-up call that you needed, perhaps, or how do you view that?
Well, the Dogs played really well. They're a very good side, as we've seen all year, and after their loss to the West Coast Eagles a week earlier, they would have been pretty keen to right that and rectify that. And we played okay in the first half, and I think accuracy in front of goal wasn't at the best. And in that last quarter, their running game really took over. It's what's won a lot of games throughout the season. And off half back, they were able to really repel any effort we did to score, and just their lateral movement, we couldn't tackle them. They were really good around the footy. We just couldn't lay a hand on them in that last quarter, especially, and it sort of opened up the game a bit. And they kicked 7 goals, and we just didn't really have an answer for them.
Brad talked about the mids and that they were unusually beaten on the weekend. Have they been walking around with the tails between the legs, or how have they taken that?
No, the midfielders are pretty confident most times, regardless of what happens on the weekend. They've been excellent all year for us, with Todd starting off most attacking drives with his tap work, and then the mids have been able to get it into us. The last 7 weeks we've been really good at getting the footy inside 50 and giving our forwards opportunities. So 1 week, one blemish from the mids isn't something we've got to worry about. Just got to make sure that, Friday night, that they're at their best again.
Daniel Wells, you understand, season probably over with this low-grade calf problem. That's a real disappointment for him. It's been a struggle, hasn't it?
It has been a struggle for him this year, and it's been a bit of a shame, really, because over the last 2 years he hasn't played much footy at all, and him being a club champion here at the footy club and one of our best players, we could do with him at the moment. And I mean, if you make it to the grand final, that's 5 weeks away still. So calf strain can get right in maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and there's still an opportunity, still a chance for him to play. It's not riding the season off for Wellesley, because there's still 5 weeks to go.
Because of the type of player he is, and we saw with Cyril Rioli last year, sort of impact players, do you think he could play almost a role as a sub or something like that coming in late in the year?
Yeah, exactly. We've got evidence of him having impact. He came in late last year I think he played 1 or 2 before the final started, and then was one of our better players in the 3 finals games we played. So with the opportunity to use him as a sub would be there. Wellesley doesn't need 20 touches to have impact on a game. His lateral movement, his speed, his kicking ability really means that he doesn't need much of the footy to have an influence. And having Wellesley out there for 20 or 25 minutes in a game of footy is going to really help us, regardless of when that is.
What have you made of the Tigers? Obviously you got the job done earlier in the year, but it was a while ago now.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I think it must have been the next week or the fortnight after we beat them that they started a really hot streak. They've been outstanding this year. It's probably like the first 8 to 10 weeks of the year. It took them a while to click, and since they've clicked, they've been great. Their midfielders are getting some really good ball, and Deledio's been outstanding since he's come back into the side, and he's a barometer for them. And then they've got a solid back line in Chaplin and Rance as well, obviously. So not really a weak area. Ty Vickery up front's been outstanding, as we all have seen with the amount of goals he's kicked late. So they've got winners all over the ground.
Are you aware of sort of all the different permutations of this weekend's matches as players, or do you sit down and watch a bit of footy this weekend because of, you could be going any number of places, in the first week of finals, or do you just sort of block that out? No,
it's hard to block out. I mean, we all listen to the radio and watch telly and are aware of the top 8's locked in, but where sides finish, anywhere from 4 through 8 isn't locked in yet. So we'll be all paying attention to that. What we can do this week is to beat Richmond and make sure we take some winning form into the elimination final against whoever that may be.
Or you can lose and maybe avoid going to Adelaide.
Is that how it's going to work?
Potentially, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that's a different one. So if we lose, so it's going to be a good thing to lose, you reckon? Yeah. Nah. Not in these 4 walls.
We saw last year you guys came from outside the top 4 and played in a prelim. Do you have similar confidence this year? Does that sort of what you did last year almost give you an added oomph this year, do you think? Yeah,
it does. Going into that last game, that preliminary final against Sydney, the belief was really there, and the confidence in the group had grown through the first 2 finals, Essendon and Geelong, and then into the Sydney game. But it's certainly the hardest way to win a premiership is to come from outside the top 4. But I think if there's going to be a side that does it any year, this might be the year, given the form of where the current 5 through 8 sit. There's Richmond Doggies, Adelaide and us are all in relatively good form at the moment. So, yes, the top 4 gives you that double chance, but this might be the year we see something different happen.
No chance of a rest for you or anyone else this week, do you think?
No, I had a rest a couple of weeks ago when I got rubbed out, so that was my rest for the year, and I can't wait to play Friday night.
Cheers.
Thanks, Josh. Thank you, mate.